Oftentimes, women's intuition has them taking care of every aspect of their loved ones' lives, often neglecting their own health and wellness, putting that on the back burner. Amy Ballantyne is a holistic health coach and the founder of Your Health Cheerleader. She has a decade of experience helping others, specifically women, maximize their health and lifestyle potential. She joined me this week to discuss how she helps women prioritize their health and how eating nutritious food and creating good habits could be a winning recipe for all of us. I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. Amy, if you're ready, we'll welcome you to the program, and we're excited to chat with you about women's health this afternoon. So great to see you, and thanks so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you for having me, Kevin.
So when we look at your purpose in life, you seem to have the purpose or direction in life to help people live the healthiest life they can, also trying to maximize their fullest potential. So can you tell me about
Absolutely. I have seen individuals who have held themselves back because of, negative beliefs, limiting beliefs. And I really am passionate, deeply passionate about helping individuals to see all the greatness that they have inside of them, to see all of what's possible. And I know that for many people, when they take care of their health as one of the key components, they have the energy to be with their families the way that they really want to be, or to go travel the way they want to. Some of my clients are near their retirement age, and I keep hearing them say, I want to be able to be healthy enough to go and actually enjoy my retirement now. And my challenge to individuals and my encouragement to them is, why not take care of your body and your health right now, so that you can be enjoying all of the days of your life, not just when you go to retirement, right? Um, and what are the things about your life that you desired to create when you were a young person? When we were young, we had this vision of this life that we wanted, right? Of what that would look like. And I encourage individuals, I challenge them and support them in continuing to create that vision, continuing to think about, what are the new things that they want to try today, so that they can really feel, that they are living their best life, that they are reaching those goals that they have for themselves. And so that when someday comes, when they wake up, they can look back and say, I did do all the things that I wanted to do. I did get to be with my grandchildren or my great grandchildren the way I wanted.
And I know that it's also very important to you for to promote women's health, particularly for single moms and women in general. So, can you
Mhm.
tell me about the importance in your work of promoting women's health specifically?
Absolutely. So just to make it clear though, I do help men. I do. But more of my clients have started to be women. And one of the reasons why I personally am so passionate about helping women is because I've seen the difference that it can make in a family. And this is only, obviously I'm generalizing here, but if the mom is the person that's cooking all the meals and buying all the groceries and doing all those things, if she starts to make changes in her own health, it ends up having this beautiful ripple effect. Now, of course, the other partners in this environment also, whether male or otherwise, they can make an impact on that family experience as well. But also, I've seen with the clients that I've worked with, so many women putting everyone else first, everything else first, ahead of themselves, their children, the family, their work, everything comes before them. And I've seen the difference again that it can make when they start to take little steps to showing love and care to themselves, how this can play out in their energy, in their mental health, in the way that they are around their kids and their happiness level. If they have been moving their body more, it's easier for them to get down and play or to chase the kids around the yard. So all of these good things, these moments where they do something for them, spills over into their life and their family.
And now I know that you have young children yourself, so I'm
Yeah.
wondering, how do you put those lessons or practices in place in your own life?
Great question. For me, it is, the 6 months that we had off for COVID, we were out biking every single day. We were walking. Um, I really instill a lot of practices around nutrition. So they always have lots of vegetables. I packed vegetables in their lunch and fruit in their lunch. And yes, we do still have treats. Like the kids had ice cream last night before back to school. But it's like this conversation. I think that's the biggest thing, is opening up that dialogue around healthy behaviors and what are the things that we're doing all the time, and what are the things that we're doing some of the time. And for me, another big piece is practicing meditation. Another big piece is quality supplementation and making sure that my cells are getting all of the good fuel that they need from good food and from a bit of support. And I teach that to my kids as well.
And I know that it's important to you also to sort of explore new things and create new experiences, uh, both in your personal and professional life. So, what would be your message to people uh, about exploring new things and sort of getting out of their comfort zone?
Mm-hmm. This has been a message that I feel I've shared since before high school, this get involved in life kind of concept. That we have a choice every single day to be involved in our lives, to participate fully. And I think, and it comes back to then, of course, having that energy in order to do the things that we want to do, to play with our kids and all those things. But trying new things. So with my clients, I'm constantly reminding them of, what were the things that they did when they were young that really brought them joy, but also what what are the things that they are interested in trying out. We have access now to so many different options as far as going out and being physically active. We have so many different options in terms of how to grow ourselves and grow our minds. I know for me, I am taking a couple of courses. Like, I want to keep on learning and keep myself growing in that way. So it's helping people to realize that they don't have to be stuck. That there's ways to try new things, and it is worth getting involved in their life.
And tell me, what sort of new things have you tried recently that you can share with us this afternoon?
Yes, for sure. So for me, I one of the things that I've been doing a bit more is jumping on the trampoline, like
That's
our
good
kids.
cardio, isn't it?
Yes, yes. Um, but the more funny part about it is that our backyard is a bit on a slant. So so it's more like my adult nervousness that it feels a little bit like I'm going to be propelled over the fence when I jump on the trampoline, but I'm trying it out as a new thing more often. So
I gotcha. And I know that part of your message to your clients is the importance of really trying to eat nutritious food, moving their bodies, and creating habits that are sustainable and that are manageable. So, can you tell me about that as well?
hmm So I speak a lot about eating whole foods. So starting with whole foods, and that's a bit of a buzzword these days, but whole foods basically means like foods that are unprocessed, right? So our fruits and vegetables, our grains, so things like quinoa, rice, if you know, in moderation. Um, really encouraging beans, legumes, all these things that are their whole foods, and then focusing 80-20. So just like I shared, Kevin, that you know we had ice cream last night. It's not that we don't ever have treats in our house, we just are being more mindful to not have them every day, right? So really encouraging people to focus on 80-20, to reducing and you know, I hate the word limiting, but reducing the amount of those you know, foods that are really sugary and salty and all of these packaged and processed foods, but not cutting them out altogether unless that's really something you want to do, because deprivation, in my opinion, creates that strong desire to have it. So it's harder then to give it up. So instead of thinking about it like you have to give up chips altogether, when you have some chips, really being mindful and actually enjoying them. How often do we choose these unhealthy foods and we finish the chips and go, oh, I'm done, like we don't even notice it because we've eaten them so quickly. So creating habits like that where a person would really focus on one meal or one snack at a time and do their best to make it a bit healthier. And that's one of my key lines really is, you know, how can we make this meal healthier? It's one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of me creating a meal plan for people, because I don't know what you like to eat, Kevin. I don't know what are the typical foods that you like to make in your house. But if I learn the types of foods that you like to eat, I certainly can help you make them healthier. And I think that's a better approach than me, you know, coming up with this whole plan, which people may only impact, like put into place for a week or two, and then they don't use it anymore. I'm really about how can we create habits that are long term and sustainable. Every time they make that meal, they make it a little bit healthier.
Now, I have to personally admit that during COVID-19, I've sort of indulged in a little too much apple pie during
Mm.
quarantine. That's my personal guilty pleasure. So, my next question for you is how would you suggest people sort of revert their thinking back to eating healthier as we sort of reemerge into societal life?
Honestly, I would say one step at a time and be super patient with yourself. So number one, if you said to me, I want to reduce the amount of apple pie, one, I would ask you, like, are you the one making apple pie? Or is someone else making you apple pie? Or are you buying the apple pie? So it's like digging into that challenge that that person wants to shift, figuring out what's going on behind it. And if it is that, you know, you are buying 6 apple pies a week, well, a shift that the family could make is to only buy 3 apple pies that week, right? So you still can have your apple pie that week, but it's just reducing it. And then the week after, maybe there's just 1 apple pie a week. Like I have a friend who calls Sundays. Like she has ice cream with her kids on Sundays. And this, I like this concept because we're teaching that we can have these treats, but we're just not going to have them all the time. So that would be my recommendation, is to also be patient with ourselves, that we have been in a state of chaos and challenge. And you know, I'm not surprised that people have had comfort foods. I've had comfort foods. Like we need comfort. This is COVID, you know? But how important is our health to us? So is it important enough that we want to start making the shift that we just reduce that amount of those extra goodies?
Well, I'll try and implement that in my personal life, but apple pie is my only pleasure outside of Tim Hortons chocolate chip cookies. So just to
Oh,
let you know.
that's
Um,
great.
so my next question for you is, how do you? I know that you're a big believer in also personal development. So how do you think we can all look inside of ourselves to become a better people?
I think that honestly, it is very individual. It's looking at, you know, when you reflect on the person that you are, we all know what skills we're really good at, right? And what qualities we're really good at. And there's areas that we want to improve. And for some people, for me, it's definitely patience. Okay.
Me too.
Trying to practice that one all the time. I'm not always that patient with myself or with others. And so it's a practice, right? So things like meditation, listening to podcasts, reading books, all of these things can help us in our growth journey. So that would be like if it's confidence, for example, that's something that I talk with about with my coaching clients. So working with somebody on these things as well, having a mentor, having a support person, having somebody that you can have that can hold you accountable to that thing that you want to improve. You know, lots of us are learning how to do podcasts, right? Like you know already how to do that, but maybe somebody wants to learn. So there's so much information out there in terms of growth. It's just picking an area and finding reputable support to help you grow in that.
And there's nothing wrong with learning a new skill and advancement, right? So,
Oh my gosh, learning a new skill is it's wonderful. The key is like that it's a thing you want to do for you. I think that's the most important, right? That it's not because of somebody else or because you're feeling unworthy or not enough, but that you're doing it because you deeply want to learn that info or you are excited about that info.
yeah, I always tell people never close your mind to learning, right?
Yes, yes.
So my final question for you is, I'm wondering if you can share just a little bit about your personal family life, because I know that volunteering and giving back and spending time with your own family is a big part of finding your inner self, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'd be happy to share a bit about that. So, I have three kids, and we are very, very busy, busy family. They're all very active in sports. My husband coaches a lot of baseball on top of his own career. So we are constantly either at the ballpark for baseball or softball, or we're at the hockey arena, or we're at gymnastics, or we're at piano, or we're even now that COVID is kind of shifting again and things are starting to open up, our life is getting back to its busy chaos. But the other part of our life, as you shared, is that I do a lot of volunteering. One of my key values in life is contribution. And I feel very, very compelled deep within me to do what I can to help. So I help with this ovarian cancer walk of hope. It actually just happened yesterday. It happens across Canada. So this year we had to do a virtual walk when normally we have a really large scale event that happens in Kitchener Waterloo, and then it happens across all of Canada that second Sunday of every September. So that's one of my big things that I participate in. I'm also really passionate about the USANA True Health Foundation. So I did a fundraiser through them this year to support locally in our community. We have this program called Ray of Hope. And so myself and a number of other individuals in my life, we fundraise for Ray of Hope. And then my product partner, USANA, matched those dollars that we raised to raise even more money to give back to our community for a soup kitchen. So we're looking forward to going and serving at that soup kitchen as a part of fundraising those dollars as well. We're passionate about like supporting World Vision. We sponsor some kids through there, so it is a deep value of mine. And my husband often rolls his eyes at me when I want to take on another thing to help out. But it's it fuels my soul to help.
Fantastic. And you piqued my interest. So I do have one follow-up question for you in terms of parenting. And what do you think you and your husband have learned about the value of family time that you have a greater appreciation for now that you've went through the COVID-19 shutdown?
Oh my gosh, such a good question. So, you know, I'll preface what I'm going to say by saying, we're all going through this like very, let's be real, crappy situation, but it's not been the same for all of us. So we're not all in the same boat in this, right? And everyone's family life has looked different during COVID. But for us, one of the greatest blessings was having my husband working from home and for us to have family meals together, lunches and dinners. We've never had this kind of experience in all of our years of being a family.
And you probably haven't had the time, right?
No, we haven't had the time. We were always the family that like the kids would come home from school. After I get off this recording, I will be prepping dinner because we've got places to be. But the difference now is that we will actually get to see my husband and the kids will get to see their dad because he's at home. And it's been truly, truly a gift in all of this chaos, truly a gift.
Hey, Amy, I want to thank you for taking a few minutes to talk to us about women wellness and health. It was really, really an engaging conversation, and I want to thank you for your time this afternoon. Thanks so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was my pleasure.
Fantastic, Amy.